found on previous sessions. This is the last webinar now until the campaign launches, but please do keep in touch after this. Any questions, please direct me, and if I can't help, I'll direct them to Caroline. And I'll hand over to her now.
Great. Well, thanks everyone. As Jess said, this is the third webinar we've run this year on crowdfunding. So this is where we get to how to promote your crowdfunder page. So once you've started, building your page and launched it, this is what you need to start thinking about to make sure you get as many funds as possible. I'll skip over that. So as Jess said, all of the resources will be available on the Brass Bands England website from tomorrow. So there's 2 previous webinars plus this one, plus the slides. The slides all have links in, so do make sure when you're going through the slides you can click on the links and see all of the available support that is there for you to take advantage of. So we've got a dedicated campaign page, which if you haven't seen it already, is crowdfunder.co.uk/brass bands. That's where you can sign your brass band up to the campaign, and you will see all of the other previous projects that are either live now or were live last year, and possibly still fundraising. So you have the option when you join and set up a crowdfunder page, you have the option to either create your project page and your campaign to run for a set period. So we say between 4 to 6 weeks, or you can set the page to continue to fundraise after the campaign has finished. So if you wanted to have a mechanism to create and fundraise throughout the year, you can use your crowdfunder page for that purpose. For as long as you like. So you don't need to necessarily just think of this as a Christmas short burst campaign. You can use that page and fundraise 24/7, 365 days a year. So I'll just give you a little insight into how we make successful campaigns fly off the shelves. So we've got 2 weeks till we launch the campaign. We're launching on the 23rd of November and it'll run through to the 14th of December. So that campaign period is when Crowdfunder and Brass Bands England will use the power of their crowds to promote everybody's campaign pages. But you as individual bands can you can go live before then and you can run after that as well. But as long as you're sort of live during that main campaign period of the 23rd of November, you will benefit from all of the other communications that are going out from Crowdfunder and from BBE. So it's worth setting up your page now. And if you want to go live, as I said before then, that's absolutely fine. And you continue fundraising after Christmas if you would like. So I think the main thing to do is obviously prepare. And if you've been on the previous 2 webinars, you'll know that we put a lot of emphasis on the planning element of the campaign. So it's not just about building your project page and expecting people to just find it and turn up. You need to do some planning. So this is where we sort of start talking about what you can do to make sure that your campaign goes off to a flying start. So obviously we're going to prep for that November the 23rd launch date. We want you to think about how you're going to market your page. So review your plan or create a plan if you haven't got one already. If you did this similar activity last year, have a look at what worked well last year. Who were your supporters? Who were your major donors last year? Review those, make sure you've got their up-to-date contact details and get in touch with them now. We find that pages that do really well tend to be from projects that have contacted supporters in advance and got a first few pledges lined up to go live. So we sort of suggest you try and find 5 to 10 donors who can go live and support you as the minute your campaign page goes live. So there is a small advantage to going live, before that major campaign period with your first 10 donors. That will mean that your page looks like it's already got off to a flying start. Uh, you'll already have a percentage total, so you'll be able. So anybody coming to see your page will think, "Oh, this is a successful page. This is a band that knows what they're doing. We want to support them." So it's definitely worth having those early donors lined up to donate onto your page the minute that your page goes live. We'll also talk a little bit about maybe planning a virtual launch event or indeed a face-to-face one. But it's a good idea to have all of those, marketing channels, those promotional channels that you normally use. So social media, email, if you've got your own band website, use that as an opportunity to promote not only your page, but to maybe get a few people together and have a launch event. Obviously, now that we're all back in person, that could be in a physical launch event. Maybe you want to invite some of your key supporters to a rehearsal, to a practice, or maybe do it online. If it's weather's not great at the moment, so a virtual launch event. So that kind of gets people excited, creates a little bit of buzz, and that also then gives you some material to use, um, for the next 3 to 4 weeks to promote your page. Obviously, it's important to utilize all of the channels available to you, um, and also use the functionality and the features available in Crowdfunder. So in your Crowdfunder project page, in your dashboard, you'll find lots of features available to help you promote your page. And I'll go through those in a bit more detail as we go through the slides. So that's a kind of in a nutshell. This is what we would like you to think about doing for the next 2 weeks. Get your supporters lined up, review your marketing plan, what works for you well in general. Um, get your 10 supporters lined up to pledge, plan maybe a launch event, get all your channels ready, and engage with all of the tools available for you on Crowdfunder. So we've talked about this on the previous couple of webinars. Really think about your network and who can support your project and get those people lined up to support you. Obviously, we want people to pledge donations, so we want people to donate to you. But it's also important to ask them also to share. So everybody you speak to will also have their own networks. So use that network of networks to get as many people as possible to your page to support you. So that obviously start with your own team, start with your own band, think about your friends and family and their friends and family. What about the people you work with, your business, your organization, the organizations you work for, obviously your existing supporters, any partners or local community projects that you work with, your social media, any local people who potentially are influential in the local community. Are they people who've been to see your band perform in the past? Are they people who've supported you? What about your local, um, you know, high-ranking dignitaries? What about the town councillors, your Lord Mayor or Mayoress? How about people who run local businesses who are influential in the community? Are they people you can reach out to? Not just asking for donations, but also asking them to share with their networks. The more people who share your page, obviously, the more donations you'll get. So it's important you think about that share message as well as the donate message. And then obviously there's a role to play for the local media as well. So do you have links to your local newspaper, local What's On websites? Use them. Local bloggers who talk about what's going on in the community. Can you use them to help you promote your page as well? Just in the same way that you want to promote a up and coming performance, use the same network to promote your crowdfunder as well, and you won't go wrong. We've pulled together a toolkit, so you don't need to create any of this from scratch. There is a link to it it looks like it doesn't look great. It's an Excel spreadsheet, but it will take you through every single thing that you need to think about to make your promote your page and make your crowdfunder as successful as possible. So it talks about so we've provided copy for an email, copy for social media. We've provided you with a plan in terms of the timeline, when to go out with, what. There's information about contacting local press, how to create your supporter list. So there's loads of information in that toolkit to help you. So if you follow that toolkit, from start to finish, you will be successful. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. There's no point reinventing the wheel. It's all there for you. Use the toolkit, promote yourself, and you'll get donations. And if you don't, come and find me afterwards and ask me why, and I'll give you some more support. But that toolkit has been designed to help you, so use it because it's the best thing that we've got. A little bit about social media. Hopefully, your band will have its own social media page. You know, I'm sure you're probably active on Facebook, maybe even on TikTok. But you know, it's really important when this campaign is live. So the minute you launch your project page, that you're posting regularly on social media. Use all the assets that you've obviously, you know, you've probably got available from previous events, previous performances. Use images of your band, use video. Video is really important on social now. Don't just post, oh, we're running a crowdfunder, and post a link to the page. You really want to be keeping people engaged. So use photography, use video, use if you've got members of your band who are happy to speak in front of a camera, use them to talk about why it's important, why you're raising funds. So make sure that you're always, you've always got that creative as well as a link to your page. You can also use we've talked about Bitly. It's a website, a free website that you can use to shorten the links to your crowdfunder page, so you've got more room for posts. Use the hashtag Brass Bands at Christmas on every post. That will mean that other people following that hashtag will pick up your project. And when Crowdfunder and Brass Bands England, when we promote it on it, when we promote about the campaign on our socials, we'll also use that hashtag, so it'll help people find your project page. You can also tag in people. So if you know that you've got businesses, local businesses, journalists, local celebrities, you can tag them into your posts and say, would you mind sharing this? So if you haven't managed to speak to them in advance, you can do it live on social, tag them in, get them to share it. Also, make sure your band members are sharing. Sounds obvious, but lots of people forget. Make sure your band members who are on, if they're on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it might be, even LinkedIn, get them to share it, because the most powerful network you have are those people who know you and support you. So make sure that your band members are posting too. There's a little graph that I've put on this slide. It's probably a bit small to read on the screen, but when you get the slides, have a look. It tells you which social channels are the best for what type of posts and what type of content. So it's kind of a good little easy guide, not just for crowdfunding, but for promoting your band in general. So it's quite good. But make sure you're really utilising all of those wonderful videos you've probably got of your performance, because those are the sort of thing that will really help people engage with your page and want to support you. Um, Also, there's a little bit in the toolkit about email. Hopefully, you'll have some sort of email database of people who've supported you in the past, maybe people who signed up when they've bought tickets from you for events. So don't forget about email. We talk a lot about social media, but email's a really good way to get donations in because it's quite personal. So obviously make it interesting. You can include links to your YouTube channels in there, and make sure you keep using that email. So if they don't respond the first time, follow it up with another email. You can also add a link to your campaign page in your own email signature. So when you're sending out emails to members, to supporters, maybe even through when you're at work, put a link into your project page to make sure that you're reminding everybody every time you send out an email that you're fundraising. So it's really quite easy to do emails these days. You can sign up to do a free Mailchimp account. A lot of website platforms, website management systems will have free email tools as well. So you don't need to. It doesn't need to be expensive. In fact, you should be able to do it for free. But it's, as I said, it's a really good sort of one-to-one personal way of getting supporters engaged and hopefully getting those donations in. The other advantage of email, like social, is that they can forward it, so they can send it on to their friends. So again, encourage people to share that email if they want to help you support, get new supporters. So yeah, there's a little bit of information about creating great emails. We've talked a little bit about press, so it's really important that you utilize, your local what's on, newspapers, pages, magazines. If you've got a free magazine, free newspapers, websites, engage with them before you start your crowdfunder, to get them to talk about why you're, crowdfunding this time round, why it's important for your band. In previous years, we've created a press release template. So, Jess, I don't know if we're planning on doing that this year, but Brass Bands England will be doing a press release. So you can take that press release and tailor it for your specific band, talk about why you're crowdfunding, and then you can send it out to your local newspaper contacts. It doesn't need to be plain anymore. You can attach images, attach links to videos, invite them to your launch event, and just make sure you're creating that little bit of buzz. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. So utilize all of those people that you know locally, and maybe not even locally, maybe regionally, and get them to support you. We talked a little bit about QR codes in the last webinar, so apologies if you've heard this before, but one of the great free features on Crowdfunder is that when you've set up your campaign page and you've started your crowdfunder, you can download a QR code which will help people to donate to your page directly via their phone. So this is brilliant if you're out and about, especially at the moment where people aren't really carrying cash anymore. Maybe you don't want to have to pay for a card reader because they attract fees. So what you can do instead is download a QR code. People can get out their mobile phone, open their camera, hover over the QR code, up pops your crowdfunding page, and they can donate. It's really easy. What the other great thing about QR codes is that you can print them. So if you're out and about, at playing a concert, you can have the QR code printed on your programs, your concert flyers, on the tickets. So again, even if they're supporting you by buying tickets, you can also encourage them to donate to your crowdfunder through the QR code. So make sure that QR code is utilized. Put it on everything. You can, as I said, you can use them digitally, so you can put them in email, or you can use them for printed material as well. And the other great thing is if you've got lots of contacts in the local community, put a QR code on a poster, on some flyers, and ask your, local shops, restaurants, businesses to put them up in the window, have them in their reception area. Again, it's another great way to get a few more pounds in, and it makes it really easy for the supporter to donate to you. So they're not having to find a card or find a few pounds in their pocket. They can do it all through their mobile phone. It's really easy and simple. The other great thing about Crowdfunder is that you can encourage people to fundraise on your behalf. So you're setting up your crowdfunder page to generate funds for your band. But if you've got band members who maybe want to do a fundraising activity for you, or family or friends, they can also create their own fundraising pages. Say, I'm fundraising for my local band, and they will also that all that money will go directly into your crowdfunder page. So it will contribute to your overall target. It gives you a leaderboard, so you can use it as a little bit of a competition, get your fundraisers to compete against each other. And if you're offering rewards on your page, so we spoke about rewards on the last two webinars. If you're offering rewards, your fundraisers, your individual fundraisers, can also offer those rewards on their page too. So it gives them an extra opportunity to go out and ask for donations, because they can also offer those rewards. Rewards are things like, come to have a private concert in your driveway, tickets to an event, merchandise, vouchers for a local shops, vouchers for local restaurants or bars. There's lots of ideas on how to use rewards. They're covered in the previous webinar. So if you want to know more about rewards, do check those out. And as I said, lots of links to some of the crowdfunding support and advice on here too. So we've got blogs on how to run rewards, loads of inspiration from other crowdfunders who do this really well. So, you don't have to be on your own. You can use all of the information available on Crowdfunder, and some of the successful projects we've seen to get inspiration for your own band page.
Am I allowed to
So
ask questions as you're going
of course
on?
you
Is
can,
that okay?
Tim. Yes, hello.
Hello. How do they do that? Do they set that up off our page, or do they link to it? If it's
So
off our page, how would they?
So when your page goes live,
Yeah.
there'll be a little green donate button, and underneath that there's a little orange fundraise button. So they can click on that fundraise for, and then that will take them to set up their own fundraising page. That will link back to your crowdfunder.
There'll be a little, because I'm looking at someone who's already gone live and they haven't got a green button.
They may not have selected it as an option.
Right.
So when you set your page up, it
Yeah.
asks you whether you want to allow fundraisers. They may not have seen it.
Right.
Or they may have chosen not to offer that.
Right.
So if you want people to fundraise, do tick. There's a little box that you tick, allow fundraising. If you have issues, come back to me because I can also set that
Allow us
live for
to
you as
share
well.
your project details with a funding. No, it's not that one. Yeah, okay. There's a fundraising box. I'll try and find that. Okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, I think that raises a good point. How do you get fundraisers on your page? And so when you're setting up your project page, you can basically, it says allow fundraisers. If you struggle with it, if you can't find it, come back to me. I can help you with that at a future, and next week. Not a problem. So when you've created your crowdfunder account and you've set your page up, as I said, there's quite a lot of tools in the back end.
Just
Tim,
one more.
yes.
Just one more.
Sorry,
Sue and Caroline had just. So I had that query. What do I do? How do I set it up? You just press the button to set it up. I did it, but I didn't do it through the brass band bit. That means I've got to scrap it and start again.
No. I will add you manually.
Thank you very much.
So remind me which band you're with.
Hadley Silver Band.
Yeah. That's fine. We can add you.
Thank you.
So yes, if you haven't set up your project page through the brass bands link, as Tim has pointed out, don't panic. You don't need to redo it. Email me or Jess. We can add you manually to the overall brass bands page.
Boom. I mean, sorry.
Indeed.
Yeah. Indeed. Is
No,
Sue
it's good.
there?
I've
Has
got
she gone
a
off to
sound
her
effect.
practice?
Don't know if Sue's still here.
Because if she's not, then
yes, I'm still here. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Hi, Sue.
Hi. I didn't realise I was on mute.
Don't worry.
I'm hiding today. I've got a red nose. I've got a cold.
Oh dear.
Oh, no.
I've just got a bad attention span.
Oh.
Do you have more questions before I move on?
No, I'll come back to that at the end. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
I've just got one, sorry.
Yeah, of course, Sue.
I wasn't sure. I applied for match funding, but I thought, oh gosh, do I need to go live? So I went live, and I didn't really want to go live just yet.
You don't. No, you can apply when you apply for match funding. It's better if you apply before you go live, but then they'll want you to go live as soon as they say, yes, you've got match funding. Who have you applied for? Is it Aviva?
It was Aviva, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can have a look at that for you.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, if you want, you can turn your project. If you don't want, if you've gone live, you can and applied for the funding. While you're waiting, you can always turn it off again. And then go live again. But if you're not quite sure how to do that, let me know. I can always do that for you.
Okay, thank you.
And it's on the target.
Yes.
Sorry,
Tim.
Allowing fundraisers on the target page. I just found it. Sorry, Sue. Sorry, Karen. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's brilliant. Tim's found it. Great. It's on the target page.
I'm not useless.
No, not at all. We've tried to make crowdfunding as easy as possible, but sometimes it just isn't that easy, and you have to ask questions. It's absolutely fine. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, cool beans.
Cool. So, just on your dashboard, obviously, as I said, there's quite a few useful things that can help you with your fundraising.
14,000.
yeah, that's a yeah. People raise money. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, blimey.
And what that, because that obviously will show you everything that's working for you, so you can use that dashboard to see how much money you've raised either directly or through your fundraisers. Um, you know, peak times when people are visiting your page. So if you think, oh look, that's interesting, everybody visited us on a Sunday afternoon. Put some social media out on a Sunday afternoon, see if that helps. And that also helps, and that also through that dashboard, that's where you can download all your supporter information as well. And if you're set up for gift aid, it'll also help you allow you to download a gift aid report, download your QR codes as well, and tracking links. And I'm just going to show you a little bit more sort of technical stuff in the back end. Through your dashboard, you can update your supporters. So anybody who's donated through your crowdfunding page, you can send them a message. And we've done some research, and it highlighted that 84% of crowdfunder supporters want to hear about your project. So even though they've donated already, they want to get updates. So use that update functionality to tell people how you're getting on, because they're not necessarily going to be sitting watching your page. So if they've donated early on, they've come and they've given you £20, tell them in 2 weeks' time, thanks for that 20 quid. Look, we're now halfway through our target, or oh, we've only got 30% to go. So use that update to update functionality to tell people how you're getting on, and potentially that means we'll be able to do X with our money. So use the update tool. It keeps people engaged, and also if they've donated to you but haven't shared it, they will then be reminded that your project exists, and will be able to hopefully keep sharing.
Awesome.
Another little thing in the sort of dashboard section of your crowdfunder page, you can create links directly from which direct supporters to your checkout page. So what this will do is it'll create a dedicated link to allow people to donate £20. You can change it if you want, but what it means is that you can create that new link, put it in an email or in a social post, and it'll allow people to donate £20 directly into your page without having to navigate through all the crowdfunder stuff. So it's a really good way of getting people directly to the checkout to donate that money. So it's kind of like takes a few steps away from the process. There's a functionality that will enable you to copy and paste straight into an email, so you can copy that, tailor it. There's also some sample email text, as we said, in the toolkit, but it's also available to you in your dashboard as well. So again, you don't need to start from scratch. You can use all the stuff that's available in Crowdfunder to help you as possible. Trackable links are really useful. So these are unique links that link straight through to your crowdfunder page that you can use on different channels. So for example, if you wanted to test whether Facebook works better than Instagram, you can set up two dedicated links, one for Facebook posts and one for Instagram posts, and use those. And then you can see in your crowdfunder account which ones have generated the most support. So that actually, oh, Instagram, we've got 10 donations from Instagram, but we only got 5 from Facebook. Let's spend more time and effort on Instagram. So it's a good way of seeing what's working for you, so you're not spending your precious time on channels that potentially aren't attracting that much support, and then you can focus on the ones that are working for you. So use those trackable links and use the insight that's available in your dashboard to see where that money's coming from, and then focus on that. Again, you can also add embed your crowdfunder page into your band's website. I'll show you some results in a minute. But yes, that's a little widget, it's called, and it'll create a little donate on Crowdfunder button, and that will link directly from your website into Crowdfunder. You just copy and paste that into the back end of your website. If you don't know how to do it yourself, whoever built your website can do it for you. It takes 5 minutes, really easy. And again, it's another way of making sure that people know that you're fundraising, and can support you. So this is a screenshot of Blackburn and Darwin Band's crowdfunder page from last year. What what your dashboard will tell you is where your donations are coming from. So you can see that they used the widget here, blackburnanddarwinband.co.uk. They put the widget on their website homepage. They got 8 people donating and raised £1,600. So it's worth doing it because that shows that widget, people are engaging with that widget. So if they're not following you on social, if you don't have their email address, but they find your band's website, they can donate to you. Also shows that Facebook was really worked for Blackburn. So they've got 61 pledges through the Facebook page. Google, they even got 2 pledges through the Lancashire Telegraph. So they've obviously done a bit of PR, sent their press release out, talked to a journalist. Lancashire Telegraph have written an article about their fundraiser, and they've got £60 worth of donations through there. So again, use the clickable links and use the insights you're getting from the dashboard so you know where to focus your activity. It really helps you. Then you're not sort of wasting time on things that maybe aren't working for you. The other thing is, as Sue's already talked about, don't forget to apply for the match funding. We've got Aviva are very generously matching up to £50,000 for any band or any project that's supporting the cost of living crisis. So you might need to think a little bit laterally outside the box as to how you weave that cost of living message into your band. It could also be something you're doing for sustainability. So they're also funding projects that are helping with the impact of climate change. So, for example, if you wanted to raise funds for an electric vehicle or funds to put in a new greener heating system into your rehearsal space, solar panels, something like that. Use that sort of messaging and and it will help you get match funding. They've got lots of money available, so it's worth, just as I said, thinking outside the box a little bit. What also happens with match funding, obviously, it'll give you extra cash, but it also means that you'll be shown on the Aviva page as well. So again, it's a good way of promoting your project. So it's not just about getting the extra cash in, but it also helps you promote your project a bit more widely too. So it's all part and parcel of helping you promote. Tim.
So we sort of decided we were going for uniforms because we're short on the uniforms. So I would say that was helping us reduce energy consumption, because if they didn't have the uniforms, they'd be very, very much colder. And the heating would have to go up. Is that too tenuous?
No, I would give that a go. Absolutely
God,
not.
really?
You could also say that you could also maybe, I don't know where you're sourcing the uniforms from, but maybe say that you're sourcing them from a more sustainable manufacturer, maybe. I don't know if you are.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yes, of course.
Possibly coming from China, but maybe not.
Yeah, no, sustainable manufacturer.
But also, you could also link that to you're helping make banding affordable for your members by providing them with uniforms.
We are.
Because a lot of people might not be able to afford to be in a band if they had to buy their own uniform. So that's a kind of sort of a cost of living thing. We're helping our members who maybe don't have as much money by providing them with uniforms so they can be in a band.
You are a genius.
That's what I did. I went down the route of providing free instruments and tuition because Blackburn's quite a deprived area, and not many people can afford instruments or lessons. So
Absolutely, yeah.
Hoping it'll be successful, but you never know. It's nothing to do with the climate, really, climate change. But
No, but it's linked to the cost of living, and people can't afford to be in bands if you can't provide them with instruments and uniforms.
no.
It's the sad fact of life, isn't it? So yeah, that will definitely yeah. I think Sue, hopefully that will be bang on for Aviva, and they will give you the funding. I'm going to chase it up tomorrow. I want to know that they're going to support you. So
Thank you.
Brilliant. And I'll come up with some cockamamie thing in about a week's time. Yeah. They'll go, what? Right.
Well, the money's there for
Yeah.
for you. So be as creative as you like. They like creativity.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, you wait until you see the pictures. Oh God.
I can't wait.
No, you
I'm
can.
gonna look at.
Seriously, you can. Ugh.
Well, you'll be pleased to know I'm nearly finished. Then we can
Ah,
get on to more questions. So yeah, I've just had a quick summary on the important things to think about. So make sure you've got your crowd behind you, your network, and they're going to help you promote your page. Obviously, use all of the channels available to you. Keep in touch with your supporters through regular updates because that'll keep reminding them that they've donated and encourage them to share. Obviously, encourage people to fundraise for you as well as donate, and use all the tools in the dashboard to help you with, your promotional efforts, what's working, what isn't working for you, and focus, and also help you get access to that extra cash. And just as a reminder, we're going live on the 23rd of November through to the 14th of December. That's the main campaign period, but obviously you can choose to go live before then and keep running after then if you wish. Watch the previous webinars if you haven't already. Search crowdfunder for some, inspiration if you're struggling with, what to put on your page. Loads of great projects out there, banding and other projects. We also have a brass bands at Christmas Facebook group. Um, is that still going?
Yeah, absolutely.
208 members.
Good.
And
So
I'd just really encourage you to use it as well, because it's a great way to get other people motivated and not just yourselves. Last year, it was a really great place that people shared ideas and what was working for them and any questions they had. It was just a really good forum to get to know your banding community as well. So please do join that group and then ask any questions that you need in it as well.
Absolutely, and it was good because we created a little bit of competition in the Facebook group last year when bands were really taking off. Blackburn, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We were able to say, look what this band are doing. It's great. So yeah, it's a good way of kind of a bit of healthy competition,
Yeah.
promoting a bit of healthy competition. And obviously the project planner, the toolkit that I've talked about, do read through that, share it with your band. We talked last time about not feeling that you have to do this all by yourself. Get your band involved, especially if you've got younger people who are on TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram. Get them to do it. Don't think you have to learn it all yourself. Share with your band, share the tasks out and get them to support you, because this is all this is a benefit for everybody in your band. So use the team around you. And then yes, ensure your page is as great as it can be, and then you'll have as much success as possible. There's loads of support available for you on Crowdfunder itself. So, this is available to anybody using Crowdfunder. It's all free. We've got a knowledge hub. We've got a learn center, loads of videos, quick, videos. If you're stuck on how to do something, we've got a help center, loads of information in there. We have live chat, live customer support. They run webinars. I've obviously done some webinars for you, but there are regular Crowdfunder webinars. So again, don't feel you're on your own with this. Loads of support available to you. If you can't find the answer, come to Jess or myself, but it is all available for you. So do have a look. And thank you very much.